716 Radio. From old school to new school, from rock to the church, from praise and worship to a twerk session. It's Final 716 Radio, playing the best in urban and inspirational music.
TGIFF. Thank God it's Fatima Fridays, going down every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on Fire 716 Radio. Listen, you don't want to miss the Dear Auntie Letter, the prizes, the giveaways, and the community conversation. It's lit, it's fire, it's a flame, it's off the chain with my homegirl Fatima Mathews. So lit, I had to call it Fatima Fridays, so I say it again, like I said it before. TGIFF.
Hey, okay. We are in the house, y'all. We are in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Fatima's, and y'all already know it is Fatima Friday. Woo! And we are back live. Yes. And it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey, I am over here. You know, I am the CEO of Strong Heart to Soul Incorporated, a business where we educate, prevent, and work to eradicate heart disease in underserved communities. So I am here for you guys. I am here for this community, but for every community, not just here in Niagara Falls, not just here in Buffalo, although we have some great things coming up in the future with the connections between Niagara Falls and Buffalo. I am so excited about, but we have a worldwide reach. We're on the internet. So if it's something going on in your town, your side of the world, let us know. We'll put you on blast. But we are going to be discussing so many things today, from relationship boys, hot topics, from this submarine thing, all the way down to Uncle Russell. Did y'all hear about Russell Simmons?
Yes.
So Big Frank is going to hit us up with some music, some 90s music, and we're going to come back and introduce our new guest who is in the building. She's beautiful. All you guys are going to be so impressed. But here we go. Big Frank, hit us off. Big Frank, where you at?
Oh, is this Heavy D?
Yes.
Heavy D. Yes. 90s music all day, y'all. That's how we do on Fatima Fridays. That's how we do.
I think this is the first song. I don't know.
Everybody, this is DMP Speaks coming at you. And
it's not enough to just dream about your ideas, right? You've got to take action to bring about their creation. Time is passing us by, and that time that we have, and we think we have so much time, we don't have the time like we thought we did 20, 30 years ago. We literally, when we get an idea, we got to make sure this is something that we're supposed to do. It's a part of our purpose. It's a part of our life's work. And we got to be dream creators.
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, and Jack Faith Hope Love. We all are facing some type of battle. This time I decided that I'm fighting back. I just refuse to literally let the battle overpower me, and I want to overpower the battle this time. You have to still go through the battle because I still need to get out of you what I need from you. You can beat it. It's just about knowing to getting into a place of confidence, like I can beat this. I can get past this. This does not have to consume me. This does not have to... I don't have to wear this on my shoulders at all, truthfully. I can let it go. What's up, everybody?
Beautiful Boss LLC, where we empower people and encourage them to be the beautiful boss they were created to be.
I advocate for abuse victims, mainly abused children. You don't abuse your children. Like, for example, made to go to bed without food to eat, being sexually abused and raped, that's abuse. Yes, there's so many of them. That's amazing why I wrote this book, guys, because I went through a lot as a child. You know, I was abused very terribly. And it just, God put it on my heart to write this book to advocate for abuse victims.
Today's teenager is tomorrow's potential regular customer. That's what the tobacco industry said about us. But what does it say about them? That they'll do anything to recruit new smokers. Like using menthol flavors to make products smoother and better tasting, so they're easier to start and harder to quit. In other words, menthol is not just a flavor. It's a way for big tobacco to attract and addict us. And there's nothing just about it. Take action at notjustmenthol.org.
What up, Alabama? That's what's up. My people is just here from Alabama. What part of Alabama you from? Hey, paper bag. I see you, boo. Where you from? All right, guys, we are back. Fatima Fridays is in the house, and y'all already know it's a party, it's a party, it's a party. Today, my special guest is the lady, the queen, Miss Denise Scott. Denise is a local business owner, and she has, you know what? She is just a vibe. I don't even know how to really introduce her. But I just like to say Denise is a vibe, okay? And I am ready to dig all up in her business because y'all know how we do.
Let's go.
I have a lot of questions, And we're gonna first just get right into it. You are an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
How did you really start that process? What made you fall in love with that?
Well, I've been through 9/11, when you saw that there were economic crisis, we've been through a lot in this country as well as in this city. So I remember when Carborundum was open, and I remember, my dad working for them and then them shutting down and then us financially, not being able to afford certain things and then having to move. So I was always taught as a child, like, go to school, do this, do that. And then when you get older, you'll be able to have these things if you do this.
Absolutely.
So when you get out into the real world and you realize, well, I was told to go to school. And then when I get out of school, there's no job for me in my field. And if there is not what they told me it was going to be like. And so I have to figure out ways that if somebody else is the boss, and you'll see it, you'll see companies downsizing. And then I never wanted somebody to be able to just come in and say, okay, we're not opening for they just did this with a company in Buffalo yesterday, Bitwise or Bit something, where they opened up one that bought a house. They laid off 900 people.
Wow.
So I watched that happen in my early teens, even as a younger child, and then growing up. So I started one of my first businesses. Now I've always worked 2 jobs. I've always been a hustler. I've always been in school. I always worked 2 jobs. Tried to get in the streets as much as I could. It wouldn't allow me because I like money more than I like being seen, right? So that put me into a situation where when I moved back here after my divorce in 2010, because I'm originally from here, a lot of people that know me, they're like, oh no, I know Denise. I went to Niagara Street, I went to Calfis, I graduated from LaSalle. And then you come home and you're like, okay, I have a child now. And I am divorced. And if this man decides that he doesn't want to pay me, I don't care what the child support paper says.
Right.
Okay. I don't care what the man says. People lie. So I have to be able to feed my child. My child eats every single day. Right. And so, yes, I have a great job. I have a career I've been at for 13 years. But within that career, I had to start taking some of the money that I made and invested in the businesses. So I was the original owner of Zero FUX. You sounded out yourself. Everybody remembers because that was back in, I think, 2011, 2012. My mom was still around at the time. Then from there, and I still have it. So a lot of things I own, people think like, oh, no, I still have it. I still own it. Okay. That's why you can't get it. And then, you know what I mean? And then I'll drop a line. I'm getting ready to redesign another line. Then from there, when I saw that, everybody was going into t-shirts and everybody was going into hoodies and everybody was going into, and I have all the receipts. You start looking at the professionalism of it. So I used to do a shirt called Corporate Thugs. And I didn't realize that Jeezy owned that, like the Jeezy. Right. So when you start getting into trademarks, it's not about the LLC, it's about the trademark. Why do you want to pay taxes on something that you don't own yet? So now I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and take these t-shirts off the internet before they send me a cease and desist.
Yeah.
So when you start getting into the intricate aspects of trying to build a business, it's bigger than just the LLC and then the trademark. It's okay. Am I hiring people? How much is this costing me? How am I profiting from this? Because if it's up to me, I give everything away.
Right.
So I wrote my first book, that was in entrepreneurship. But it's Stay in Your Lane, The Diary of a Hot Mess. It was written, 2000, and I think that came out 2012. So my book just celebrated 10 years, I believe. Came out 2012, no, 2013 it came out. And I just celebrated 10 years with that. And then years later. And you start getting into the legalities of things and realizing that things cost money.
Absolutely.
So now I'm working at my regular job, and a lot of people don't do this. I'm working at my regular job, taking money that I made at my regular job that I'm feeding my son with, feeding myself, trying to take care of my family. Because my mother at the time very well. I got a sister in college who's, trying to, figure things out, and she shouldn't have to go through what I went through and, working all these jobs and choosing sleep, or do I go to class? So you look at these things and then you say, okay, so now I'm going to invest this money from this check and put it into my business. That's how hungry you got to be for it to get a return.
Absolutely. I've been, I've been dealing with that a lot lately. I have a pretty good job on a regular, I work and I have a house, a family, children, single, but, you literally fight. It's a battle in yourself. Like, should I buy this for the house, or should I put this money into my business that I hope and pray one day will prosper? I know all of us here, D Money Mac, Frank, we all here are business owners. So we all have, fought that some kind of way, fought that battle. But I do believe, because I work hard at my business, that one day it will prosper, and I pray about it.
And I like that you said one day, because I think another problem in our community, as well as in all communities, is that we think that the money is supposed to be like this. If we don't sustain that first year, if we don't sustain that first 6 months, I got to get this money back. I got to get this money back. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes you're going to have seasons, just like in any other relationship, where you don't make anything.
Right.
Right now I own Black House Beignet, right? That came out of nowhere. That was a blessing in disguise. I pay my nieces, and any person that you see in there as a family member directly blood related to me. That was the goal. Really, that was the goal, was to be able that my son didn't have to go work for anybody. Now he chooses to do that, like we discussed, because that's what he want to do. But there's something here for you when you come back. I own other businesses within the Black House family, and you can go on theblackhousefamily.com and see the Black House Beignet, Black House Wellness, Black House Growers. But these are businesses that they're mine. And then I own 716 CBD. I've owned that since 2018 when they passed the USDA Farm Bill. But then when everybody got into CBD, I was like, nah, I don't want it, because everybody want to grow weed. I don't smoke. Right? I follow the 10 crack commandments. I don't get high. I smoke, right? And so
10 crack commandments.
Right. I don't smoke. So I drink a little, but I don't smoke. The thing with that is that, you make a product, and that's one of my best sellers. And then you have a product that the banks don't want to, allow you to have five figures in an account, because it has CBD in the name. And in certain states, CBD is still illegal.
Right.
So I realized that with CBD in the name, 716 CBD, which is trademark, registered, all of that, you have to be careful. So now I have to rebrand that and do all these other things. And then you just pivot. So being a business owner is a lot of pivoting. And I like that you said that if God, you're going to just keep going, because that's what you have to do in business. I mean, sometimes you got to keep going for 3 years. You got to keep going for 3 years. No profit. You know what I'm saying? And then at some point, somebody says, you know what? I really like this. This really works. Or I really enjoy listening to that. I'm going to give this person a shot. Or I'm going to put this on my Instagram. And then within one day, everything changes.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that about a lot of times in our community that we expect it to happen so instantly, because that is the mindset that I have for a long time. Is like, if the money is not happening within the next couple weeks, it's a wrap.
Girl, no.
I was very much like, this ain't working. Okay, I'm doing something else. This ain't working. But now I'm understanding, not jumping to do so many different projects, but trying to stick with what I'm doing and figure out what am I doing that could be better what can I do that can be more efficient and different things like that. So I understand where you're coming from.
I definitely agree with that because we're all business owners here. So we all know that we need money, we need capital to move forward, but it is hard. And I think that a lot of business owners, especially, I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but here we fight, we compete against everything and everyone. So that's horrible, number one. But then, we don't know how to prosper. We don't know how to, we have never been taught how to do certain things in business, because this is new to me. Like,
I'm breaking that down too.
This is so new to me. So I started my business in August of 2022. So I'm coming up on 1 year in business.
Oh yeah, congratulations!
And thank you.
Starting, honey.
Yeah, I'm just starting. And then Fatima Fridays just started in March of 23. Right
now. So did you get the business grant that we are offering here in the city of Niagara Falls?
I have not got any.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. You don't have to talk to me about all that. So this is
I know, right?
Well, it's for everybody. This is another aspect of business, is finding good mentors and finding people that are either doing things that you want to do and saying, how did you get there?
Absolutely.
How did you get to a place where you're able to do this? And then I studied them. So I didn't have the mentor in my family. My mother was an entrepreneur, but she did a lot, but she was really creative. She could sew. Like, I can't sew. Like, this will be here. Wear this. And she sewed like prom dresses, things like that. So my mom had actually a successful eBay business around the time Kim Kardashian did, because a lot of people don't realize that's where Kim Kardashian started, was on eBay. She would take her old clothes, like these old purses, sell them online because she was able to get them. And then that's how she flipped it. So we talk a lot about that, but you have to have the mentorship. So there are business grants that the city of Niagara Falls has. And if you're not signed up with Minority Business, I can put you in contact with Ms. Dolly, who we actually just sat with Mayor Restaino yesterday at Abbott. And then our last meet with the mayor is on next Thursday at CalFest next week, which I actually went to. This was Abbott last night. There are $25,000 grants for small businesses, especially minority owned, especially women owned, in this area. And you take the grant, you've been in business, they are $50,000 if you are part of the Minority Women Business Association, which I can get you signed up with Ms. Dolly. I believe they have another class coming in July. So those are some of the things that is very specific to our city. I never took a grant for any of my business. I granted myself the grace to be able to work. And then I had, I do have Black Farmer Fund, which I'm very thankful for them. Black Farmer Fund has been one of my investors with the farming industry as far as like 716 CBD is concerned, which is also Black House Growers, Black House Wellness. And I'm having, what you said is that we also don't celebrate each other in these spaces. Okay. But you will see that almost in any market that you go to. So it's not just us. There are other people that are like, oh, that's cute, but it's not just our communities. I've seen it in every community, even men. Oh, his car is nice, but mine has a bigger engine and mine has, no one cares. Did you pay for it cash or not? So did y'all pay for it with the same money? So I think what we also don't understand is a business acumen, right? So I had to go into spaces where I saw Black women that were wealthy. I'm talking about like in specific club settings. And I'm not talking about like the tear the club up club. I'm talking about like people have to die in your family in order for you to be a part of the specific country club or this specific. And this isn't, oh, that's just bougie. No, it's not. That's where the money is. Deals are not made in Applebee's. I'm sorry. They're not made over, sandwiches, eating at the drive-thru. They're not. They're made where the other people that have money are. So if you are not putting yourself in spaces where people, like for you, I would recommend going maybe to seminars. Now, don't do none of the mean girl conferences. Waste of money, waste of time. Read the reviews. What am I, Fatima, going to get out of going to this particular thing? Because I had to start saying no to a lot of stuff. I'm not going to that. How is that going to make me money? Okay. How is this going to affect my life in a positive? Who am I going to meet that I'm going to be able to connect with? I just need one person that I can connect with and that I can piggyback some ideas off of. If you're going to places just for the sake because somebody invited you and you feel honored, don't, because it's a waste of your time.
Yeah.
And I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I would rather take a nap than to listen to another woman tell me how she did this. And I know your boyfriend is a drug dealer. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, guys.
Right.
See what I mean when I said we're going to get into her head? This is Denise Scott, y'all, the queen around here. So I definitely appreciate you being here. I have so many more questions for you, but right now we're gonna get into some 90s music with Big Frank.
Play some drug dealer music.
You got some comments over there too.
Johnny Bravo said, peace to the collective. Marietta Evans.
Yeah.
Go for you. Good for you, Denise.
That's my girl.
That's my girl. Les Smith, sometimes people don't want to share the game. Delonte said good morning.
About the gatekeepers. There's gatekeepers. We'll talk about them.
Hi, Lisa.
Yes.
Kingdom Love Outreach Ministry presents Where Are Thy Kingsmen?
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, and Jack, Faith, Hope, Love. We all are facing some type of battle. This time, I decided that I'm fighting back. I just refuse to literally let the battle overpower me, and I want to overpower the battle this time. You have to still go through the battle because I still need to get out of you what I need from you. You can beat it. It's just about knowing to getting into a place of confidence, like, I can beat this. I can get past this. This does not have to consume me. This does not have to... I don't have to wear this on my shoulders at all, truthfully. I can let it go. What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, and Jack, Faith, Hope, Love.
Everybody, this is DMP Speaks coming at you. And
It's not enough to just dream about your ideas, right? You've got to take action to bring about their creation. Time is passing us by, and that time that we have, and we think we have so much time, we don't have the time like we thought we did 20, 30 years ago. We literally, when we get an idea, we got to make sure this is something that we're supposed to do. It's a part of our purpose. It's a part of our life's work. And we got to be dream creators.
You locked into the vault with Dante Mound on Fire 716 Radio. Let's go.
This is engaging the youth. No longer is it okay for us to make decisions as to what we feel they should do. We already lived our youth. You know what I mean? So it's time for us to, God gave us two of these and one of these for a reason. We need to listen and watch more than we do a lot of talking. So
you can't, everything is changing, you know what I mean? From everything outside to how we feel and everything, because it's two different worlds we live in, two different generations. So like, I definitely get where like it's hard to communicate and hard to come to an agreement on one particular thing, because you see it from your eyes,
right,
from your perspective, but I might see it from another perspective. So
when they was 8 years old.
That was me. I used to record on the radio with the cassette tape.
Oh my!
I would record myself onto jazz songs, singing my heart out. It was no, but I thought I did.
I'm 12 singing "You Bring Me Joy."
Yeah.
Hey, Karen Clark, how are you? Thank you for joining. Where you from? And we are back, guys. It's Fatima Fridays, and y'all already know
it's a party. It's a party. It's a party.
We are back with another hometown hero. Her name is Denise Scott.
Yes.
Just like I said, she's just a vibe, and y'all already seen it. She's dropping jewels everywhere. So definitely make sure that you tune in, share, because I know it's a lot of people who are at work right now who can't watch. But make sure you share the broadcast with your friends and family. Download Fire 716 Radio, because we here for y'all. We here for your community, our community, for everybody. So what up, Williams? How y'all doing? I am live on TikTok. We live on Facebook. we around this world. Like, what's up? Where y'all at? How y'all? like I said, get to me with your congratulations, your birth rates, everything, birthdays, everything. Get to me with your Dear Auntie Letters, mznature@gmail.com. I'm here for it all. Whatever you got, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So back to Miss Scott, the beautiful Miss Scott. Thank you so much for coming today. And now you said something I didn't know. You said that you were born here in Niagara Falls, New York?
No, I was actually born in Portsmouth, Virginia. I'm a Navy baby, but
Navy
I've lived
brat.
here the whole time. The whole time I've lived here. Went to all these schools. I left after I graduated high school, clearly, and then I didn't come back for a while. I did Pittsburgh. I did New York City first. I did Pittsburgh. Got married there, got divorced in Tampa. And then when I moved to Tampa, I moved back here about, at this point, 13 years ago. So I've been back. But I mean, I always came home. This is home. I was, honey, I was in the mirror in 3Ms. That's what
everybody been in a 3M mirror.
DJ.
I've only been in there once in my whole entire life.
I keep a mirror in my house. Every house that I've ever lived in or owned, I keep a mirror there because that's the 3M's mirror. I have one in a box right now.
That's what's up. Everybody know about 3M's. Big up to 3M's. It was Mathews, the Mathews mans owned 3M's for a long time, and then it got turned over into a couple different hands. It was a club here in Niagara Falls, New York. Good and bad, but it was a business on Highland Avenue. We all love Highland. I'm definitely a Highland baby. UP stand up all day, all day UP. So you know how we do around here. But so I know that you lived in many different places. Which one of those places would you say helped shape you, and why?
I mean, you would think it would be New York, but it was not. Pittsburgh, I have been going there since I was in college, since I was a child, went to, grad school there. But I think really, honestly, it was Tampa, because you're in a situation where, I got married, I moved down there, I didn't have anybody. So I had no family, and I'm grown. I'm grown. I'm almost 30 years old. I have my son down there in Brandon, Florida. And you're down there and you're just like, I'm really down here by myself. Like, I can't go around the corner and get no mac and cheese. I can't, call my brother if something happens. And then you are faced with the reality when you're going through a divorce that you're just like, if something happens to me, who comes and gets my kid? Because they're, a flight away, So your the way that you interact with people is very different. The way, my mother and I were always very close. I talked to my mother every day. She flew down there and it was back and forth. But my decision to come home was based on she, was ill. She wasn't doing very well. So I came home. And it was a hard decision for me because I loved Florida. Obviously, the blue waters. I'm a Cancer. My birthday is actually tomorrow. I'll be 48. So you are down there and you're just like, I love this place. This is, where everything you can dream of. But I had so many chaotic things that happened to me down there. A lot of bad things, like, just your divorce and just a lot of traumatic stuff happened to me. I was attacked. I got stabbed in the face by this girl I didn't know. Like anything that you can think that just was a fluke that could happen. You're just like, of course it happened to Denise, because it was the one time she went out for somebody's birthday party. Somebody mistook me for somebody else. She's talking. I don't like to talk. You know what I'm saying? She hits me in the face with a glass. Now we in a bar brawl. I end up having to sue these people, and then I get stabbed all in the face. Then there was that incident. And then it was just repetitive. It was like I was being spiritually attacked. Wow. And so at that point, when you're trying to stand still and God's like, no, you're gonna go.
Right.
And now I realized that I was being forced to come home because my mother wasn't well. And when I came home, she was gone 3 years later. So in 2013, she passed. So I came home in 2010. So I truly believe that had my son and I not been here, she would have passed way before that. Because, in death, people sometimes hang on a little bit longer for you. You want to be okay. But I think Tampa is what shaped me, because I'm like, I'm really down here. There's real bills down there. Ain't no, $700 and $800 rent. Your rent or your mortgage is $2,000 and $3,000.
I was just in Tampa actually, like 2 weeks ago. My sister just moved between Tampa, near Airport.
Okay, yeah.
She just moved down there with her family, and she's going through some of those exact same things where she's all alone, and she has her kids, and I'm trying to be there for her as much as I possibly can, but I'm here, so we go back and forth a lot. I try to be there and be supportive as much as I can, but it's tough for her, but I want her to know that she is an inspiration to me. She is, she's don't make me cry. But she is marvelous. She's like a woman that I one day want to be like, even though we're only like 2 years, not even 2 years apart.
Women like that,
but
at all
she
costs.
is right. She is a jewel. And my sister, I don't know if you're watching or not, but baby girl, love you to death. Both of my sisters. My little sister, amazing. She just graduated from NU, got a full ride scholarship to a school in Boston.
Yeah.
Like just amazing women. Like my dad has passed on a couple years, 2009 or 2010. 2010 he passed on. No, 2009. But he birthed some amazing women, and we always say Tab's girls because his name was Taboo, but he didn't get to see it as much, as we wanted. But he is with us. We definitely believe that he is definitely with us.
And I think that if more people realize that you have ancestors that are literally sitting here like, no, or get out the way. Right? If you knew that. So first of all, if you knew where you came from, you would know where you could go. Right?
Absolutely.
So I come from a long line of just top tier behavior. Okay. I come from a long line of foolishness and menace, but in that there were educated people. There were people that were out here doing things, that were pioneers in their field. My family in Pittsburgh, the Turfleys, the Arringtons, so for me, being mediocre is just not acceptable. People say, why you do so much? Why you do so little?
Right.
Okay. If I can't do it the way it needs to be done, and if I can't execute and finish something, I just won't start it at all. So that's a relationship. That's anything. That's being a parent. Shout out to all the parents that had limousines and balloons and they did for prom. You know why? Because it's none of anybody's business what you do for your children. Oh, they still live in the project. So what? Oh, they probably don't have an IRA. You don't either. So right. You know what I'm saying? And you don't take care of your kids. Worry about that, and that's so if you know that, and you know that you have ancestors on the other side that are following you, that are guiding you, nothing is a coincidence.
Right.
I saw that 3 times today. Okay, it's a message. Ding, ding, ding. And then if you take that with following through with things, we would get so much further than trying to tear each other down. So one thing I always tell women is, I said, I'm never mad at other women. Right. But now I'm in a situation right now where I'm being disrespected by this woman, if that's what we're calling her, because I'm gonna say it. I do business, and I try to give business to our community. Right. And I'm gonna just go ahead because I don't really appreciate this. So when you're hiring people, my first thing is, okay, are you licensed? Are you this? Are you that? All right, this is amazing. And so because I work with a group called Black Farmer Fund, they will, if I say, hey, I like this building and I can prove it, which I can, okay, because I'm not rejoiceful at tax time. I'm not, okay, because I owe, okay. I don't need to steal from anybody. I don't need to do any of that. And in fact, if you feel like that, here, just take it. Okay. Right. Because I can go get that 10 times over, whether that's your man, your father, $50.
Not your father.
Your uncle. You can hear. Go ahead. Just take it. That's for you, baby. Okay. But I don't suffer for free. I don't suffer for free. And that's where I think a lot of Black women, we are dying at certain rates, and we're having nervous breakdowns and all these mental health conditions. These are none of my concern. Don't text this phone, my African-American phone that I
not the African-American
telling me I'm an old broad and I owe you money and all this other stuff when you're working on a project that actually was owned by my Aunt Gloria. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that when I just signed off on a letter, okay, for a museum for y'all to get a grant for $50,000. And I had to rescind that letter today because you don't text my phone threatening that you're going to call my investor. I don't do threats. We just move. We just make the move.
Yeah.
That's everybody's Black's problem. We want to tell everybody what we're doing before we do it and then get mad when the police show up. You know,
Yeah.
and then you want to get mad when your house get foreclosed on because you told everybody that you was over here doing this and this, but you wasn't paying your mortgage. So at the end of the day, I don't like being accused of trying not to pay somebody when I done already put over $130,000 into that house. 40,000 of it was stolen. Okay, I had to go to court. I call lawyers. I don't argue with people.
Right.
Okay, especially men. I let men argue with men. You want to argue? Bet. Let's just call him. You argue with him in court. Okay, when you get old, it's not about the skibbity paps anymore. So what I'm not going to do is get a love letter from a woman who is in cahoots, which I didn't know this. And this is another thing. So what you were talking about, gatekeeping, right? Gatekeeping happens for two reasons. Number one, because we don't want you to have something, okay, because we're not solid enough in ourselves to say, I'm going to show you how to get it. Because here's my thing. I can show you everything that I did. If you are just not that woman, it's not going to happen for you.
Yeah, it's not
going to happen for you. So I could get here, take it. Here's the recipe. Here's everything. You do it, and it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
The other reason gatekeeping happens is because you weren't ready. And it's not for you. And so I can tell somebody, you might not want to do that because you might be better suited over here. That's not gatekeeping. That's me saying you suck at this. You are phenomenal at that. Focus on what you're phenomenal at, because I'm not phenomenal at everything.
Right.
Okay. And so when you have people, Black women, calling your phone, threatening to call your investors and things like that, ooh, this is a missile. So you want to go. Let's go.
Yeah, that's
You don't
crazy.
threaten me. And see, the problem is that she had a relationship with somebody that, you know, we cool and whatnot, but there was some animosity there.
Yeah.
You could have never thought, if I would have known that this person was in a relationship with that person, I would have ate a Heineken bottle hot out the stove before I would have did business with somebody like that. I don't do that. I don't do that because and this is the thing, just because you forgave somebody doesn't mean I did.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We don't have to speak. We don't have to whatever. We could do all that. I don't like you. You're a bad person.
Yeah.
I hope that when hell opens up, it takes you first. That's where I'm at with some people, because you did something to a family member or a loved one of mine. And so because they forgive you, and a lot of men need to understand, women are treacherous. Okay?
Very
treacherous. And I think that the people that were involved in this business deal didn't understand, everything's cool. Everything's great. It's not. This person don't like me because of this person. You didn't let me know that this person and this person was in cahoots. So now we in it. She accusing me, telling me she gonna call my investors. Do it, please. Do it, please. So that we could just pull everything that you did. So now watch what happens. Because we just talked about how Black women are. It's not even about receipts. Now I pull a letter back from a $50,000 deal that you could have got. Because you're not going to talk to me like that. I don't do the disrespect. And now because of it, I'm yelling at my brother, you know, my god brother, because you should have known that this was going to happen. Okay. You have this toxic situation over here with somebody that's a chemical. You can't do that. And not all of us are meant to do business together. And it's not about, it should just be about getting the money. You don't talk to people like that when you really in business. It's too personal. I'm old. I'm this, I'm that. If you didn't have that personal relationship with somebody that didn't like me, you wouldn't speak to me like that as a client.
Exactly.
You come to me and say, Denise, you know what? Them beignets was horrible at Black House Beignet. Oh my God, Fatima, what can I do to make it better? Can I make you something else?
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's, you know what? When you come in for the next 2 times, they on me. Because I want you to understand that this is top tier. Your services were not top tier, ma'am. You were illegal, unlicensed, working in my home. Now you up here lying. Told me that you paid the other contractor $6,000. You didn't. Now you're calling me because you mad because you think I was trying to cut a side deal. Well, nobody trying to cut a side deal. I already wasted $4,500 cash just weeks ago. I need my money. I need my money. You sound like you on drugs. You said this is drug seeking behavior and I will not allow it. You will not call me with your crackish ways talking about I'm old and all this other stuff. Well, you young and look like that. What is the problem? I don't attack people's looks. And let me tell you another thing. When you're effectively communicating and arguing with people, if you have to attack somebody's look, you're this, or you're skinny this, or you're a fat this, or you're this and that, and the third, you've already lost. Absolutely. I sit back and be cracking up. Cracking up. Because you have nothing important to say other than X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So one thing about me, I go to sleep at night figuring out how if this person did this to me, how I'm gonna get them and how I'm gonna get the get back and this and this. Baby, I saw it before I even knew anything that was happening, because this is my third time being beat by a contractor. This is gonna go way bigger than what you think it is, because you don't know how to control your emotions because you are a poor. Okay, not poor, a poor. You are part of an entire tribe of people and Black women that don't know how to effectively communicate with each other and say, you know what, here's some constructive criticism. The contractor came in and said that everything was a fail. Oh my God, Denise, what can we do to fix that?
Yeah.
Because you know what, I thought it was maybe an Erie and Niagara County issue, but what you're not going to do is threaten me. I don't take kind of threats, not about me, not about my family, not about anybody else. And then I don't find out till later on that there was a relationship with the contractor and somebody that I know that she can, like she likes me, she don't. And you have done somebody in my family wrong. You do something wrong to me, I'm a Cancer. It's on forever.
Yeah. I was gonna say Cancer. Cancers
Okay,
never forget.
forever.
I have some Cancer friends who are Cancer. They
Oh,
never
wait.
forget. And I will say too, and that speaks to her level of professionalism as well. Because you know, if you have a disagreement with somebody that you're working with, you should not be texting them these emotional things, because this has nothing to do
I'm
with
a liar.
business.
I'm trying to be
know,
sneaky. I don't want to pay her money.
I think
another
Black
4,500?
woman.
4,500.
We don't know how to handle
Right.
business. We make everything very, very
Emotional.
personal. So I personally had a friend or a associate that I wanted to, that asked me to do a business venture. Great. I tried to work it out. And then all of a sudden she just backed out. And now, no, I'm not doing it. After I changed plans, called people, put my name on, I'm not doing it. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was okay at first, but the more I thought about it, it was very poor of her to do that to me. And I'm not, of course, going to say any names or anything of that nature, but I was very surprised because I looked up to this young lady. She seemed like a wonderful person. I've known her in the past. She, we always were very polite and nice, but when the business came involved, and it wasn't like I wasn't getting no money out of it. She wasn't getting no money out of it. And she just dropped the ball. And it just seemed really odd and weird to me. Like, why, how you put me in this? Right. And then I changed my schedule. I was supposed to be on vacation that week. I decided to cancel my vacation. And things just messed up. And I was like, oh, now anytime I haven't been in business a whole year yet. So this is my first real collaboration with another Black woman. And I was like, wow, is this what it's like? Is this what's going to be like? So the next step, another Black woman comes along and it's like, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, because what happened with the last one, I don't know about, working with this one. But I try to pray about everything first. And if I can't do it on my own, then I'm not going to do it with, I try to make sure that whatever I'm getting myself involved with, I can do it without you. Because if I can't do it without you, then I need to know that you locked in for life. I don't want my name, my business out there with anything shady.
Right. And so that's where that execution piece comes in. And you will find, remember I said that a lot of people just talk. Okay. And then even more so, I stopped talking. I don't want to talk anymore about anything. Show me your work. Show me what you've done in the community. You can't just keep getting up and just keep talking. I've met women, and this is when I was in my mentor phase. Now I'm not. You can starve to death. I don't care. Because you don't care, I don't care. You don't want to feed the kids, I don't want to feed them either. So here's the thing. There is I'm saying. So I did a show one time on my podcast, Dating Land with D. Scott, and it was called PPM. And it was Poor Poon Management. Okay? And here's my thing. My dad was very specific about certain things. And one of them was this. And I think that it's an important piece of my life. If you laying up underneath somebody and you can't call them to ask them for anything, to pick you up from somewhere in case of an emergency, I'm not saying if your roof cave in to give you $20,000, but
at least Uber.
Oh, no, I'm gonna get the roof. I'm gonna get the roof. But I think that what's happening now is that we're not developing relationships with each other anymore.
Right.
We just hit and quit. That's just in business. That's in personal. And it's just like I said, if they can't see where the money is coming quick and first up, or either that, or they wanted you to front everything up front. Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off you, baby. Do I look like a humpback whale? Do I look like a humpback whale? You will not be a parasitic entity on me. Everybody has to do their job.
Right.
Right. I have a very specific job when I come in and see, and that was the other piece that I think that was unfortunate for some people to understand, is that business Denise is very different from work Denise, from Black House Cafe Denise, from 716 CBD Denise. I don't play like that about money, and I don't play like that about my reputation, because one thing I don't do is steal. Why? Right. I could go get $4,500 right now, but the point of the matter is you didn't do what you were supposed to do, and instead of you accepting. And then here's another thing that you need to learn in that situation: silence is never misunderstood. When they quiet, I don't want to talk to you. You don't owe me any conversation. You told me everything I needed to know when you stopped talking. When you stopped talking, my girlfriend Kendra used to say this: silence is never misunderstood. I don't misunderstand it. I don't read into it. I was not supposed to do business with you. And I have found, and this is a horrible thing to say, when I met Black farmers, which in the beginning, Black Farmer Fund was headed by all Black women. I literally cried, and I told him, I said, this is the first time I've had a business relationship with Black women that was successful. Okay. And these are people that are in Forbes magazine. So what does that tell you? The level at which you are, trying to communicate with, I can't understand what you're saying, because I'm not supposed to be at this level with you. That's why those relationships for you didn't work. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're not supposed to be here. Maybe you're supposed to be over here trying to talk to Tom Joyner or trying to talk to somebody else. If something doesn't happen and you done change your schedule, I stopped doing that. Let me see where you made the rent-a-car reservation. Let me see where you booked your ticket. My son went through that. My son bought $500 tickets to go see Deftones. I don't know what it was, some group. And he's like, oh yeah, Mom, we're gonna go. You do it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I went on there, bought the other ticket, because I already knew they was gonna back out on them, because they don't have it, and they're kids, and that's fine. And I love for people to be able to dream, but don't dream on my dime. Right. Don't dream on my time, and just don't waste it. I don't even get enough sleep. I don't have time to somebody to pitch something like that. Girl, I'd been at her house. I just want to tell you about yourself really quick. You don't even have to open the door. I just want to let you know I saw that. I didn't really appreciate it, and don't call my phone no more. And then we done, so that you don't have to deal with that. So you didn't do anything wrong. It's just that sometimes they think that you're supposed to foot the whole bill, or you're supposed to take care of everything. And I got tired of doing that in relationships that I was in business-wise. I'm paying for everything everywhere we go. You don't got no shekels at all. You don't have nothing. You just came here with a blanket. And a blanket. You didn't come here with any snacks or anything.
Who? Reese. Hi, how are you, Reese? If you have any questions, concerns, or want to, speak to our guest today, Denise, definitely type it in the chat here. And if she's giving you life, because I know she's giving me life.
They're like, we know
type
her.
It in, and we'll get that information to her. But Big Frank is going to hit us up with some 90s music. Hey.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
TQ, I Am, the Queen I Am, with Felicia Gaddis. Her story, her experience, her wisdom. Tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. at Fire 716 Radio. TQIM inspires, uplift, and transform. Tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube,
Kingdom Love Outreach Ministry presents Where Are Thy Kingsmen? Men of Valor, Saturday, June 24th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 1800 Clinton Street in the city of Buffalo, New York. The visionary evangelist Angela Miller, hosted by
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, and Jack, Faith, Hope, Love. We all are facing some type of battle. This time, I decided that I'm fighting back. I just refuse to literally let the battle overpower me, and I want to overpower the battle this time. You have to still go through the battle because I still need to get out of you what I need from you. You can beat it. It's just about knowing to getting into a place of confidence, like, I can beat this. I can get past this. This does not have to consume me. This does not have to... I don't have to wear this on my shoulders at all, truthfully. I can let it go. What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, and Jack, Faith, Hope, Love.
Beautiful Boss LLC, where we empower people and encourage them to be the beautiful boss they were created to be.
I advocate for abuse victims, mainly abused children. You don't abuse your children. Like, for example, made to go to bed without food to eat, being sexually abused and raped, that's abuse. Yes, there's so many of them. That's the reason why I wrote this book, guys, because I went through a lot as a child. I was abused very terribly. And it just, God put it on my heart to write this book to advocate for abuse victims.
We try because we have to see the growth.
It looks nice though.
It does.
You're welcome.
And we are back, you guys, Fatima Fridays, and y'all already know it's a party.
It's a party. It's a party.
What up, Jasmine? How you doing, Anthony Morgan? Where y'all from? We got the girl Denise Scott in the house today.
Hey,
the Queen Denise Scott, and we are here over in Niagara Falls, New York. If y'all don't know, come visit us here. We happen sometimes, but Fatima Fridays and 716. Fire 716 is always popping. We got you. Come on and visit us. But I want to go back to talking about a few different things that we talked about. So I want to ask about, with the top shooting and things of that nature, the smoke has kind of cleared. How do you feel about the movement? What's going on now? Do you see many changes? I know everybody's DEI this, DEI that, do you think it's moving in the right direction, or do you think things are staying the same?
As far as in Buffalo with that situation?
Well, not just Buffalo, around the world. Like, because I know that it's been a lot of different things that are happening around the world. So with us being the only Black radio station here in Niagara Falls, New York, we try to, get out to our community. We try to help our community. We try to help all communities. But I feel like we're kind of staggered a little bit because with us being the baby, nobody lends a helping hand,
Correct. So I think with the Tops mass shooting, I think it was preventable. I think that it was one of the most horrific things that happened. I think that it could have been prevented. I think that mental health needs to be sought after. But I also think that the governor was dead wrong for not passing the bill. That would have helped the victims' families based on age. I think that she came in and did a sham job of that. And I usually don't speak out about government because, but I think that was wrong. I think that we never spoke about the fact that that specific Tops, after they went in and they put all the new flowers and everything in after everyone passed, that same Tops was looted during the blizzard. Okay. I think that it is amazing that somebody bought the house that the security guard had and bought his invention. I believe it was the gentleman from Shark Tank. It was Dane, the one that owned Fubu, if I'm not mistaken, that bought his Damon John, that bought his invention that was to make water, not water, but like a machine that filtered water. But again, I go back to the talk. We're just talking. Okay. I would never say that gun violence is not bad in this country, but we live in Western New York, right? The Wild Wild West. We eat deer here. We shoot rabbits and things like that. And so if you are a daddy's girl like I was, you know, growing up with guns in your house, you learn a specific respect for them, just like you do with women, right? So if you're not taught how to use a gun properly, or that you need to go get a license, or that this is what you do, you're going to go out and make these mistakes. I don't think that so here's the thing. If somebody is going to assassinate you, they can do it with a pencil. You can heat up a spoon. I've heated up hot pennies outside at Niagara Street and threw them at people. You understand what I'm saying? As a child, of course, my God. If you want to injure somebody, you can injure them.
Right.
9/11 didn't need a gun. They had a plane with a bunch of gas on it going from New York to California.
Right.
Okay. I think that the process of what's going on in Buffalo, and with the disgusting things that I saw with them and those payments, people saying that they were there and they weren't. Like, I tell people that death is its own entity, right? And so when death occurs, you see a lot of ugly things. You know, you see a lot of filth and ugly things, and you just looking at people like, really, that's your grandmother on your third cousin daddy side that passed, that you've never met, but you came here to collect money.
Right.
This makes me sick to my stomach, because it's not about the money.
Right.
What are you doing to commemorate the people that passed? There is post-traumatic stress disorder that's now associated with this shooting. I don't rock with tops anyways, because they're too expensive. So at the end of the day, like, and then I'm just like, really? And they do that because we are in food deserts, and they know that the large percentage of people that are going there can't get anywhere else, but also are using state services or using assistance. Okay. If you had to go into the grocery store and spend your real money on food for children and an adult in the house, it's coming out to close to about $1,000 a month. Okay, that's why I wanted to grow my own food. So I have my own chickens. Come here, you know. But it's a lot. But the point of the matter is that when you are in a food desert like what they were, that is why they were specifically targeted. That's what the boy said. So you have to look at a lot of the agencies that knew that this could have happened. You have to look at the fact that when people were saying, oh, you know, we're against, you know, guns and all this other stuff, what are you really saying? Because at that point, I know that if I call the police, I don't want you to show up with a slingshot.
Absolutely.
Okay. if and the people that are telling you to not, you know, guns are wrong and no one has to use this gun, tell that to your security staff then. Let them use a BB gun then. Let them use the rubber bullets that you speak of.
Right.
Okay. It can't be a double standard. You have a governor who just got here telling us that we should be doing this, and your husband is literally a billionaire. Life is different for you than it is for us.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't need a gun to defend myself in the streets. I shouldn't have to, but can we just make the streets safer then?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that that tragedy brought out a lot of ugly mess that I didn't like in Buffalo. And I think that it's still going on. You know, we turned around and looted it and people didn't care. And then that didn't make national attention. I find it disgusting that it was in an economically disadvantaged neighborhood, a socioeconomic standing that was not top tier. And then all of a sudden everyone gets killed. We make national attention. And now all of a sudden you want to put flower beds in and all this, and you're doing all of these things. And that's no knock to anybody in the city of Buffalo, but I'm just saying these are things that should have been done anyway.
Before, absolutely.
You know, why is it we always have to have the aftercare after death?
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. So I agree with you 100%. I don't know about the gun situation. Like I'm not so much for guns. I don't know. I'm scared of them. I don't know how to use them.
You should
I
be.
never have used
You
them.
should be.
So
that's the honesty piece.
So I'm scared.
As
Exactly. But the thing is, everybody has them, and is you can go to the corner store and purchase a gun before you can go there and purchase a Bible, or before you can go there and purchase, houseware. You know what I'm saying?
Not here.
It's so easy to get. It's easy in Niagara Falls too,
if they're illegal.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Illegal
when
guns.
You have to go through the actual process. It's actually
so that's
not
the
easy.
That's the thing. We need to do something about the illegal guns.
Oh yeah,
that is out here, because these kids are getting hold of guns and doing craziness, killing their mothers and brothers and sisters because they had an argument about what's on TV the night before. That's just crazy. So it definitely needs to be something done about the illegal guns, the drugs in our community, all these things that are killing our people. And unfortunately, I know that right now I try to steer away from politics as well, but I know that right now it's election season.
Yes, it is.
And the mayor is out here, and he's on
mayor
right now. He's actually got talks and stuff that you come on in, and I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna talk to you about my plan. Well, what's the plan, sir?
So I can give you some insight on that because I sit in on those meetings.
I have seen you there.
Okay. One of the things that sent me through the roof is the fact that we have representation in our city, in council, and in almost every aspect.
We do.
Okay. This is not to vote for anybody. You vote for whoever you want to vote for. Okay, because I don't really do politics, but I am the chairman of the Human Rights Commission here in Niagara Falls. People say, "Oh, what do you do?" I don't see you. I don't see you either. I don't see you. So one of the things that was actually not voted on and declined was the fact that we were doing a grid, which would allow for street lights, right? It wasn't just lights. There were cameras in those lights. So that whole stop snitching and snitches get stitches, it avoids somebody's grandmother from having to go down to the police station to say, hey, I saw Lil Ray Ray in them. Okay.
Always Ray Ray.
And Tyreek, or whatever. And Jasper, they did X, Y, and Z. It avoids that. And so a $10 million deal that shouldn't have been up for recycling or rebidding for another 2 years was scrapped because people chose that, I want to have this and I want to have that, and I shouldn't have to talk about it. It's not just the lights. If you can't see somebody, 90% of the time somebody will say, well, I didn't see it. I don't know what color car it was. Whole color be wrong. I thought it was white. It was a silver car. I can't see anyway. I got astigmatism. So the point of the matter is, a lot of people don't realize that we have a person, her name is Morgan. She actually lives in DC. She was either the police chief or commissioner. She lived right off Highland. Okay. When I saw her back in 2000 and probably not even, you're talking 10 years ago, Washington, D.C. had the entire city on a screen all the way around where you could see, and people were getting tickets, speeding tickets, parking tickets sent to their house.
Absolutely.
We are decades behind major cities, but we want to talk major city talk. Okay. People talk about tourism, right?
That's the big talk.
But guess what? What is our commerce here? Where does Niagara Falls make money from? Is it from the water from the falls? Are we bottling it and selling it? No. It's from tourists. $750 million every summer comes within a 10-block radius of that casino. Okay. And a lot of people don't understand that. All right. So when you're talking about, what can we do to make things better? Do you think that we want our grandmothers getting robbed and tourists getting robbed saying, oh no, this is terrible? No, you install the lights with the cameras on them. It's not a conversation. I saw you, Tyreek. Okay. You and Monet. I saw both y'all. You know what I'm saying? In the G-Wagon. The plate is right here. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And what people don't understand is that when you don't allow for those forward changes, you are contributing to the culture that is allowing your grandmothers to be robbed, tourists to be raped. your cars to get broken into. Maybe all your kids would still be in your driveway if we had cameras that would have caught it. And they're not just talking about specific street corners. It's not just going to be in DeVoe. It's not just going to be in LaSalle. All over. Okay. Everybody was so concerned. You guys put everything on Snapchat anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you sit there and you don't vote in favor of things that are going to better the city, are you in cahoots with the people that are making it worse? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is criminal enterprise. Why would you not want our city with that amount of money coming in a 6-month period? That's phenomenal. Really, it is. We are not a broke people here. Okay, if the money is there, so when it was re-voted on, it was passed by the grace of God, because at the end of the day, we deserve LED lights. Do you? I don't even know what that is outside. I can't see. Okay, I can't see.
Right.
When I lived in Tampa, we had lights. Okay, when I lived in New York, there were lights. So why do we as Niagara Falls want all these things that cost money, but we don't want cameras in the street lights and LED lighting because we are antiquated? Why? Because if you support criminal enterprise, now everybody going to jail.
Yeah.
Okay. So then if you're really an entrepreneur, do what entrepreneurs do. Go get money legally, pay the taxes on it, and mind your business. That's it. So when we do things like that, right? Everybody's it's always the lesser of two evils. That's what politics is. And in a city this small, there really isn't Republican and Democrat. It's what's going to be best for the city. What's going to be best for my community.
Yeah.
What are we? So, the mayor answered a lot of questions about the road. Come to find out, a lot of these roads belong to the state.
Right.
Not us.
We did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't
know it either. When you sit there and then you want to accuse one man of something, and then we are the contributing factor in the city, you can't do that. So it doesn't matter to me who you vote for. I'm just telling you what it is. Okay. So you can't say like, oh, it was just about the street lights. No, there's cameras in the lights that would effectively help people. Hey, I got mugged. I didn't see who it was. Oh, we caught him over here. Okay. We caught him over here. I specifically, when I go to airports, leave like 2 cents worth of gas in my car. I'll drive that car all over, because you know why? We don't have cameras, right? So if somebody steals my car, at some point you have to go to a gas station within the next 10 minutes. So I know that if my car gets stolen out the airport parking lot in Buffalo, somebody is going to have it on film, because you had to get gas or you're abandoning my little roller skate car. Okay. Those are some of the protective measures I shouldn't have to do if we have cameras where they need to be.
Right.
Hey, Barbara, I definitely understand. Everyone has so many opinions.
Yeah.
But aren't really. I will say this. I commend Mr. Nix and Unica Lewis, because they have got out.
They fought
so many African Americans to the voting pools. I went and voted early the other day.
I did too.
And when I seen people that I grew up with going in there to vote, I was like, oh, word? Like, oh, now you voting now. Like, and that's a big thing, because for so long, we just didn't do that. Unfortunately,
we felt it didn't make a difference.
It make a difference.
Whatever. Yeah. But we see that in one of the last elections, Bill Kennedy lost by one vote.
Yeah.
One vote.
So yeah.
I think, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, I think that sometimes, it does take someone who a person can feel more relatable with to explain things, to understand and go forward and do certain things to help. As far as like with the cameras and the city lights, I think that's an excellent idea. But personally, I don't go to meetings and different things. I don't do the and I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, if it, in my mind, if things have been going on for this long, right? And then you look around, and as the time I've grown up, I've seen things get only worse. Yes. I haven't seen anything get better, especially my community and neighborhoods I live in. So it makes you kind of feel like
hopeless.
Yeah. Like, what is the point of doing anything? Because the people who have gone and they've stressed themselves out and they've gone above and beyond and they continue to push, but nothing is getting better. It makes you just go, what's the point? And even with the mayor, like I've seen him from time to time in different areas, but I don't understand what you do. So so that's just my, that's just Me.
That's why he has the meeting. So one of the things that the mayor did was actually get us out of a deficit. We were broke people to this country, us in Detroit. We were on a list that stated that we were basically the poors, right? Basically, our city was in a deficit. All right. He was able to get us out of that deficit, get funding for certain things that was not able to get funded for before, and is putting up splash pads. He's doing, all these different things. But you can hear that at CalFest next week. I'll be there just to introduce them. Like I said, doesn't matter to me who you vote for. But here's what also we cannot do. Just because you're the loudest one in the room does not mean that you're the smartest one in the room. And I think that a lot of, and I said this earlier, everyone would be suited. I have to find somebody that is better than me at something, because if not, I won't learn. Right. So I have my auntie and Miss Beverly, a woman that I talk to, and she runs like a clinic out of Buffalo and things like that I talk to, because I'm like, okay, how do I make these moves? I have my sister Lisa, who I have to literally, because I am ghetto, okay, I have to ask her, and I work in a hospitality industry, and then I turn that off and then go run a business where I'm, and I have to ask her, how do I say this,
Without
in a
offending.
professional,
Right.
No, not offended. I don't care if I offend you, because it's going to be the truth. How do I say this in a professional way? So like, when he's like, because if you F around and you find out, I was like, how do I say that in a professional way? There seems to be some disconnect. And so the disconnect comes when you have people that are running for office that it just sounds nice. And you have no idea what the job actually entails. Because if somebody would have told me motherhood was like this, no, you didn't tell me about this. You didn't tell me about the abandonment. You didn't tell me about divorce. You didn't tell me that I was going to be a single mother, whether I was married or not. You didn't tell me that. And I have somebody in my family that's going through that right now. So when you look at some people, it breaks my heart to know that information is power, right?
Absolutely.
And when you don't have certain information, I think a lot of people would be upset to know that there are certain things that could have been avoided because you didn't have the information. So now, because you don't have proper information, you are spreading something. You think that, do you honestly think somebody's just going to give you $100 million in a bank account and you're behaving in this manner? And you have no experience doing that. This is not a game.
Right.
Okay. And then you tear up that budget. What makes you different than the mayor before that?
Right.
Right. Everything here is not talk. So remember, I told you when you get to certain levels, there's treachery. But then when you get to another level, it's like, okay, I look at people and say, what can I learn from this person? If I can't beat them, and if I can't be like this person, what can I learn? But see, what happens in the Black community is we get to offending people. Well, F you and you the devil and this, that, and the third. And it makes it very difficult for the aftercare after a political race is over, or after you done insulted me. I can't go back in the contract with you. You got me all the way twisted if you thought that I would ever, in the history of Negrodom, do anything else with you. Okay. And so it's the same way with politics. I think a lot of people would have been better suited to sit down and say, what does this job actually entail? You can't just go to a bunch of council meetings and say, oh, I think I'm just going to do this. It does not work like that. I don't care how many books you've read. I don't care. I could read 1,000 books on scuba diving. Okay, let's get to that.
In the water?
Am I gonna get in the water with sharks? No, I'm not. I could do a little knee. I could do a little knee water. That's all I can do, because no matter how much you read, it's not going to prepare you for actually putting that into place. And now you have to watch people's temperament. You have to watch people's temperament. I have to check your resume now. Okay, there are certain things that are not allowable in politics because we are in conjunction with other cities. We're a border town. We are a very important town. Did you know that Niagara Falls, because of our energy capacity over at the Power Authority, we're on like the top 3 hit list if there's ever some type of bombing or some type of nuclear attack, because this would take out the entire Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah.
We are not a small little, quaint town, somewhere else. No, we are actually a very mighty town that needs somebody that's like, I'm experienced at this. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to handle this business. This is what's going to get done. I'm not going to have these emotional exchanges. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to be mentally healthy. And I'm going to have people on my team, okay, that look like you and that look like the rest of the community, because he does. And this is how we're going to get things going. You have conversations with people. You don't talk at them. You don't argue with them. You don't insult them. If we learn to have conversations instead of accusations, then I think that a lot of this would have been easier. If I see that there's somebody I can't defeat, like I can't, listen, back in the day, when you find out your man doing what he's doing, you just ain't gonna leave this girl alone. All right, well, I need a new car. And then you say, this is back in the day, and then you ask the girl, have you been to the doctor's, baby? Have you, you know what I'm saying? Are you well? You understand? Yeah. Saying, we owe you any money, so there's no lawsuit. Can you sign this? You know what I'm saying?
Disclosure agreement.
Yeah, it's disclosure agreements, because I need to be, clear that since this is something that's gonna happen, and I don't suffer for free. If I know that this is inevitable, that's why I don't like when people say, well, I would never do this. And if I was doing this, I would do that. You don't know, because you've not been here.
Right.
Okay, I would never yes, you do. You lie. I see Mr. Cecil all the time. And I know that's not you in the car. Like, you know, whether you admit it or not. Absolutely. There are people that know what's going on. And if this is what you have to accept, even in politics, it's like, okay, if this is what I know is going on, and this is the best choice that I have, what am I accepting when I'm entering this? I don't want somebody that cannot hold their temper, because I'm chaotic, right? So if you and I have a disagreement, now I got to go on a live. Now I got to go on a live. Now you hit me with a shovel. Now you understand what I'm saying? This is not appropriate. And now we're being attacked. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of the stuff that was going on in those council meetings, those things get talked about in Albany. We are a laughing stock. Why are our council meetings 4 hours long, 6 hours long? You came here to do what?
Right.
Okay. One of the greatest gifts that we have was to be able to vote. People fought for this. And then you just gonna sit here and be like, no, I'm just not gonna do it. I don't care who you vote for. Just do something. Because if you do nothing, and so I do commend him, Demetrius and Uniqua, because I know them both, for that. Having a voice and doing things. But I think everybody would be better suited to do a little bit of research, because if they would have done a little bit of research, then certain things wouldn't be new to them, or they would understand that certain things about debates. We don't get to come in there and talk about what we want to talk about. You are here for the people.
Right.
And I know what Demetrius's plight is, and I feel for him, because I know that he's been a business owner in Niagara Falls for many, many years. I've, known him since Niagara Falls Street News, all that stuff. But politics is nasty. Okay. And it gets real nasty. That's why I won't do it. Because somebody got one time to say something about my child or something like that. I'm like, and I know myself, and that's why I can't do it. They're like, no, I'm just better suited back here. Let me just I'll be in the those are the things. I'll be in the background, anything you need, but I can't because I know my temperament. You're going to be in situations with people that call this city, a ton of names. You have to be able to, I commend Byron Brown. Byron Brown was up there when they was accusing him of not telling people that the storm was coming. It's like, bruh, they all over the internet. I don't know if you guys caught that. And I'm like, bruh, when you live in the 716, when they say it's snow coming, we believe
for the worst.
Right, yeah.
The people that did not believe him were people that literally were not from here and did not understand that the amount of snow that we get in a small period of time. And Byron Brown got up there and basically was like, I said what I said, and I told you that no one was allowed to be driving, and you all just, when we would not be sending rescue. Okay. And I love that, because he stood on that. He was like, I said what I said, and y'all didn't listen. Y'all wanted to go to the store. You wanted to go over here. How many people got caught at their side man house? You know what I'm saying? Imagine getting caught at your side dude house. I couldn't come home because I was stuck at, the supermarket.
Right.
3 days. That's why you don't lie.
For 3 days.
For 3 days. And if you go outside, you might freeze to death. That was nothing but God. Never God, like, see,
right. I told you.
Ended like that. So you have to be able to stand your ground, but at the same time, you have to be able to say it's more than just me. I can't speak from myself. Not for myself, from myself. I have to speak for the city. And so if there's somebody that's going to speak for the city and do the things that need to be done for the city, that's what you have to choose. Do you want somebody going into a meeting? That's like you saying, Denise, you know what? I need you to go down to Miami and represent my business for the heart business. And you know that I drink a bottle of tequila every day. And I'm coming into the, meeting. It's like, I don't know what you wouldn't trust me to do that, right?
Not.
It's unstable. And that's what we need to do. We need to be stabilized and we need to be making proper decisions for our city with the budget. Everything is not about money. Clean up the zombie house. Okay, well, go buy one and pay the tax on it. You clean it up then. You should just give it to us. Everybody wants something given for free. Freedom is not free, and there is pay and patience. Okay, you have to be patient with this city. This city is tore up because we don't have any other commerce but tourism, and now people are talking about the tourism. $750
My whole thing is with the tourism. I love it. I'm glad they come.
Okay,
but once they come and they see the falls and they see the casino, what's next? They all go to Canada. And
I'm gonna tell you what they say about that, but go ahead.
I just don't see it as being there any other things besides the falls and the casino. I'm all good. Take their money. Absolutely. Get all the money you can. So we need to build some things or do some things where there are other things for them to do besides everybody don't gamble. I
agree.
Some parents are too old to be walking around the falls. You know what I'm saying? So what else can they do besides the casino and the falls?
And that's one of the things the mayor was talking about as well, was trying to get back those properties, all those acres that were down there that actually put us in economic despair. I remember that dry cleaner was right there on, I believe it's 10th and Niagara. That was a drive-through thriving dry cleaners. Okay. Nobody dry cleans their clothes anymore. Okay, we just throw them in the dryer. Okay, so that business went out of order. So the company that came in and bought up all those buildings on all those acres on the other side of the casino, they've held on to them for 27 years. So the mayor is currently in a battle trying to get those back for eminent domain so that he can put, a water park, an indoor water park, kind of like what they have over there. And he wants to be able to put other things throughout the city for people to do when they're here. He's trying to get it so that we don't have seasonal workers. He's trying to get it so that people have jobs all year round and not just in the summer months. We're not like I said, we're not a coastal town. We're a border town. That's very different than a coastal town. Our weather gets bad in the winter. He's trying to find things for people to do in the wintertime, wants to bring concerts, wants to bring things. And then one of the meetings, one of the women was talking about some of the jazz and things like that. And I'd love to be, a part of that for older people to do, because it's like, I'm like, who are these people that are at the Rapids? I don't know who that is. You know what I mean? And then, so you're looking at a lifelong commitment to that. It's not just, and so again, I have to look at, so if you look at a man and his fingernails are dirty, right? You don't want him touching you. Right. You're like, I think I need you to file that. So when you're looking at people that are going to manage a budget of $100 million or $200 million for the city and to take things back, I'm going to go with the guy that's a little aggressive in the courtroom, because he used to be a judge. That's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with somebody that knows how to do this job. That's like with my hair. She's an excellent colorist. Now, when she blow it out, it take a couple of days to lay down. But I'm going to go with who has proven over and over and over again, these are things that I can do and these are things that I can maintain. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Okay. And so with the city of Niagara Falls, what a lot of the tourists say, they love it. It's beautiful. Do you know that the air quality here is top tier? When I had my girlfriend Tasha come down from Virginia, she was just like, what a way of life. And I'm like, what? like, girl, you see? She's like, oh my God, you guys can walk everywhere. We underestimate the fact that we can walk places. In New York City, you ever try to walk? You stop. There's urine on the ground, oh my God, there's somebody baby drop a shoe in the street. In Detroit, I was outside, the air stunk. I'm saying, I have a video out, I'm singing, drifting on the memory, I'm singing the Ozzy Brothers and the air pops up, and I was like, oh my God, that stink. Messed up my whole video. You know what I'm saying? There was a sock in the street. Not that we don't have that, but they put a lot of money into rebuilding that downtown corridor. I own a house down there, child. I'm about to sell it because I can't take it no more. But I think that what the people come here to do is that a lot of people come here to decompress. So if for them, it's not about what can I come here and do? And I got to go. I'm going on vacation. I don't want to do nothing but have top tier alcoholism and lay down and take a nap in some nice bed sheets, preferably 600 thread count and above, and be with people that I love or and have a little bit of water. These people come here, they are coming from, like a lot of them are coming from India, or even when they're coming from Africa, or if they're coming from China, they are coming from places that they don't have proper air quality. We get to go outside and not smell fish and urine. Okay. And we underestimate that. My girlfriend came here and I'm like, girl, you over there in DC where they got the brunches, they got, you know. So I think it's everybody always wants what they don't have. I loved Tampa because the quality of life down there, top tier, but I paid for it. Every day you walk outside is $200. It's $200. You know why? Because it's hot. This water gonna be boiling. You can freeze it. You can do whatever you want to do, unless you're keeping a cooler in your car. A Yeti. Oh no, this water is boiling.
Far away. So
everywhere is far away. 45 miles to get over here. You're stuck in traffic. People underestimate the fact that it takes 5 minutes to get to work.
Right.
6 minutes to get to work. 2 minutes to get to work. If your Uber don't work, you can technically walk there if you needed to. You have somebody, and that's what I missed being in Tampa. Girl, you get tow up. There weren't no Ubers in Tampa. There were no Ubers. You had to call a taxi, like $80. So it's like, ooh, I'm weighing it. Do I drink or do I just stay in the house and have alcoholism? Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm joking about alcoholism, but I'm just saying, when you get older, so people that come here are coming here because their life, wherever they're coming from, and a lot of that is New York City. We had, after COVID, one of the biggest years in tourism here in Niagara Falls because people wanted to be outside. They happy to come and do a picnic. I don't even know a lot of Black men. Have you ever been on a picnic with a blanket? You see? And this is something that people that live in smaller quarters, 800 square feet for $1 million, they come here and say, this is grass. It's real.
Oh, you know what?
They're like,
yes.
I want to come sit outside in this grass. You would be shocked. And I talk to tourists every single day between the casino and between my beignet shop. They are pleased. So I don't know what the other guy in the debate was talking about. People come here and they say, what people? Who came here and said that? And why didn't you defend us? I don't let anybody talk about my city like that. Even when I lived in New York City, people are like, oh, you from country, I will smack fire right clean out your face. Okay, they go, oh, I'm from the Bronx, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from Niagara Falls. We have problems. Okay, we all, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to party in 3Ms. I say I've been up, my life has been in danger many times. You know, and I'm 19. My life has been in danger. You do not scare me. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Our quality of life, when you go other places. You understand what I'm saying? And when you start traveling, now LA is a vibe. LA is always going to be a vibe. But I don't have $50 million, you know, because that's what I would need.
Yeah.
Okay, Big Frank. Gonna hit us up. Wait. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's so funny that you say that about the quality of life, because one of the things I was just talking with my friends was, I'm like, when I went to New York City, I thought I would love New York City because I always wanted to go.
Anxiety attack.
Yeah, and I went there and I'm like, there's no trees, like there's no grass. It's only and to me, I'm all about sci-fi movies and stuff. I'm like, this is a dystopian nightmare. Like this is a prison. I want to go back. Like so.
I love New York. Though. I love New York because there's pockets of fantastic and fabulous things to do. Like we went to see, I can't think of her name. I went with my brother, this amazing Black comedian. I'll have to pull her up. I can't think of her name. Just on a random Memorial Day, we're chilling at the, Empire rooftop, drinking an Aperol spritz. New York is fabulous if that is the life that you want. And that's the life I swore I wanted when I was 18. And I went, I got the life, and then I said, I don't want it. That's what we do, right? Yeah. You don't know what you want exactly until you get it. And then you're like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Big Frank, we're going to change it up with some 90s music, and we'll be right back.
Beautiful Boss LLC, where we empower people and encourage them to be the beautiful boss they were created to be.
I advocate for abuse victims, mainly abused children. You don't abuse your children. Like, for example, made to go to bed without food to eat, being sexually abused and raped, that's abuse. Yes, there's so many of them. That's the reason why I wrote this book, guys, because I went through a lot as a child. You know, I was abused very terribly. And it just, God put it on my heart to write this book to advocate for abuse victims.
You're locked into the vault with Dante Mount on Fire 716 Radio. Let's go.
This is engaging the youth. No longer is it okay for us to make decisions as to what we feel they should do. We already lived our youth. You know what I mean? So it's time for us to, God gave us two of these and one of these for a reason. We need to listen and watch more than we do a lot of talking. So
you can't, everything is changing, you know what I mean? From everything outside to how we feel and everything, because it's two different worlds we live in, two different generations. So like I definitely get where like it's hard to communicate and hard to come to an agreement on one particular thing, because you see it from your eyes, from your perspective, but I might see it from another perspective. So
Everybody, this is DMP Speaks coming at you. And
it's not enough to just dream about your ideas, right? You've got to take action to bring about their creation. Time is passing us by, and that time that we have, and we think we have so much time, we don't have the time like we thought we did 20, 30 years ago. We literally, when we get an idea, we got to make sure this is something that we're supposed to do. It's a part of our purpose. It's a part of our life's work. And we got to be dream creators.
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, and Jack, Faith, Hope, Love. We all are facing some type of battle. This time, I decided that I'm fighting back. I just refuse to literally let the battle overpower me, and I want to overpower the battle this time. You have to still go through the battle, because I still need to get out of you what I need from you. You can beat it. It's just about knowing to getting into a place of confidence, like, I can beat this. I can get past this. This does not have to consume me. This does not have to... I don't have to wear this on my shoulders at all, truthfully. I can let it go. What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, and Jack, Faith, Hope, Love.
Kingdom Love Outreach.
Today's teenager is tomorrow's potential regular customer. That's what the tobacco industry said about us. But what does it say about them? That they'll do anything to recruit new smokers. Like using menthol flavors to make products smoother and better tasting, so they're easier to start and harder to quit. In other words, menthol is not just a flavor. It's a way for big tobacco to attract and addict us. And there's nothing just about it. Take action at notjustmenthol.org.
So at that time, Black people just started mixing the chicory root with the coffee, and so that's why you.
Oh, I need that.
Learn something new every day. And we are back, and it is Fatima Fridays, y'all.
Yes, it's a party.
So we know we have Miss Denise Scott in the room.
Yes.
She's in the building. We have D Money Mac, Big
Frank,
the whole Fire 716 family. We appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, concerns, Dear Auntie Letters, congratulations, whatever it is that you want to get online or on air, definitely email me at mznature, that's mznature @gmail.com, and I will get back to you and I'll post your information. But a little bit, I want to talk about some Fatima facts. So recently, about a month ago, this is June, May, Tori Bowie was a 32-year-old woman who was 8 months pregnant, Black woman. She was also a U.S. track star who died during childbirth this last month. The autopsy showed that respiratory distress and eclampsia was the possible complications. A lot of people don't know what preeclampsia is. Preeclampsia is a dangerous condition categorized with high blood pressure that develops during pregnancy. It is rare and very severe. It causes seizures, and you can be put in a coma during your pregnancy. Black women patients, mothers, occur at twice the rate of all other races. So this is a big thing. Lately, we have been talking about a lot of Black fraternal things, and a lot of Black people a lot of Black women have been dying during childbirth, and you see it a lot more often. And it's very sad because, unfortunately, this is something that I've been through. Black mothers have severe hypertension, in which increase the death rate, and that's why a lot of people are dying during pregnancy. Because you usually have to do with preeclampsia, eclampsia, hypertension. Those who survive preeclampsia have a high risk of postpartum cardiomyopathy, which is what I was diagnosed with in 2009. There are many reasons why African Americans are dying at a higher rate, or African American mothers are dying at a higher rate. One of those reasons, because we're not just being taken seriously in the doctor's office. So when we say that we're in pain or something isn't right, our feet are swelling, our fingertips, whatever the case may be, they put us on bed rest. And that's exactly what they did to me. So we have to be fighters for ourselves. We have to be activists. When, you can say, okay, I'll go on bed rest, but this and the other, but this still isn't right. Something is there. Something is a problem. You have to run these tests. You have to stay on top of your doctors, which you shouldn't have to. But unfortunately, we do because we Black. So we have to stay on top of them. There are findings that urge African American women to get doulas when they're planning to have children before you even have your child, because doulas, they know you more personally, and they are here to educate. So they educate you before, during, and after pregnancy. They can see when some of those things are not right. Before your doctor will be able to, because they know what you're doing kind of on a daily basis, in New York State is now funding several programs for doulas in our community. So that's a very good thing. You can actually be trained to be a doula right here at Niagara Falls Memorial Hospital. And if you need a doula, they can set you up with someone in your area to become a doula, or to be a doula. You can hire a doula for your birthing experience. I urge everyone that I know who is expecting your baby bundle of joy to reach out to these type of programs, so you can start the educational part and also get help with having a safe birthing experience for you and your family and your new child. So that's just a Fatima fact. Y'all know Fatima facts are not always facts, but that is a fact. Like, get you a doula. Are they expensive? Sometimes. They usually run between $500 and $2,000. But like New York State are now paying for these doulas. So that's another wonderful thing that before it was like you get it, use on your own. But now they are actually, because of the higher rates of African American fertility rate, they are actually saying, we need doulas, because the rate, we're dying twice as much as other races. That's just crazy.
Right.
That's absolutely nuts. And it all stems from racism. Bottom line, a lot of the problems, I won't say all the problems that we have, but a lot of the problems stems from racism. And then a lot of the other problems stem from just not knowing education, information, money, access. So we have to, for our children, for our future, we have to be, we have to fight and advocate for ourselves. And that's just something that that's what my business is doing, with Heart to Soul, Strong Heart to Soul, advocating for ourselves, our community, and underserved communities here in Niagara Falls, New York.
Yes.
And I know some good doulas in their lives too.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are, I didn't know when I had my child, my first son, in 2000, and I had preeclampsia. And I had a wonderful doctor, rest in peace, Dr. Gay Lonis from the Niagara, Neighborhood Health on 9th Street. Wonderful doctor, beautiful guy too. He was just amazing. So he worked with me and my family to make sure that I had a healthy baby boy. Second child, London, 2009, is when all the problems started. They didn't even realize that I had preeclampsia with my first pregnancy. And it was just a lot of, they put me on bed rest, and again, not working, not making money, so it was a lot. But they did the best that they could, and probably about right 6 weeks later, right when I was going back to work, the first day of me going back to work, I was back in the hospital, and I was pronounced with postpartum cardiomyopathy. So it was a tough time. A couple years later, I died on the operating room table due to having my defibrillator batteries changed and being given fentanyl. Died. I was dead for 8 minutes, and then I came through. They sent me to Straw Memorial Hospital in Rochester. Shout out to Dr. Alexis, love you. And I got an LVAD, and that's this machine here, and it helps my blood pump through my heart, both right and left ventricles. So, well, it helps the left ventricle. So that's a little bit of my story. That's why I got into what I am doing now, as far as helping underserved communities and things of that nature learn about congestive heart failure and other pregnancy rates and things of that nature. But it is important. And if I feel like if I didn't know anyone else in the world that had came to this problem. So if I don't tell my story, then who's going to tell the next person? Who's going to tell the next young lady? So that's why I try to do what I do.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
The first time you told me when we met in class, I was just like, that's crazy. That's really crazy. But it also made me think, like, you know what? The conversations that I do have with my doctor, I need to ask more questions and not just go with,
what they say.
Yeah.
And you need to tell them more too,
Right.
because you know your body had a similar situation. But I didn't. I had a hysterectomy, and I was like, my stomach's flat. I'm running marathons, and I was a vegetarian for 20 years, and no perms or nothing like that. So I'm like, there's a ball right here, and she's like, oh no, and she's amazing. And she's like, no, you're probably just gaining weight. No, ma'am. I've been the same size since, and the numbers are not numbering. So I'm running 11 and 12 miles a day, and they used to see me all down Whirlpool, and then I'm eating 3 pieces of lettuce and a shard of meat. You know what I'm saying? The math is not mathing. And so finally, by the time they sent me, because she says, oh, we'll try to lose weight in 90 days, and maybe you're going through. No. So I had gained like 80 pounds in like a 6-month period. All in tumors. Tumors.
Oh my gosh.
So my stomach went from like completely flat to so I had to have the Da Vinci surgery to remove all the cancer tumors. So it took me like the other day, I was thinking about it, I was like, because I seen like, cancer sucks and cancer survivor. And I don't like the terminology of like victim, and I don't like survivor. It's just like something happened, it didn't work. You know what I mean? And then we move on, we're living. So I remember them finally saying like, now, because now we have a problem. And she's like, you know what, we're gonna have to schedule you for surgery. And I'm like, oh yeah, so now you wait. I'm not doing surgery before Christmas, because I've never had any type of surgery or anything like that. And we waited, and then finally I got the surgery done. It was the worst thing ever. I don't know how people can just lay like the anesthesia, because I don't even take aspirin, so I don't, and so having someone tell you like, yeah, we're going to take all your reproductive organs out because they're full of, cancer. And it just got really big. So one of the tumor that I was telling her about was 13 pounds.
Oh my
God. Cut it up. And then, so the Da Vinci is where they do the force. So I was very blessed, because I work forces. When people say, why do you still work there? Insurance. Right? Insurance. Have you ever tried to go to the doctor without insurance? How they treat you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So once everything was out, I'm like, 13 pounds. That's larger than my son was when he was born. So other than that, you're right. You have to advocate for yourself. But in my body, I knew. I was like, no, something's wrong. I'm like, you don't feel that? I'm making around like, you don't feel that? And so it's funny, because now her and I are like this, and she's like, she's purging too. So it's not even like it was somebody that was, I go to a women gynecologist, and now she's always apologizing to me. She's always apologizing, because your body is not like anybody else's, and then when everybody's like, oh, well, you must have been having perms. No, you must have been eating pork. I haven't eaten pork in over 30 some years. You must have been doing, no. We always attack first
What we don't
and
know,
say, what we don't know, like, well, you must have done this to become sick. No, sometimes God just chooses, and then I just be more abundant and blessed when I'm done. You know, so, and then what didn't, and you, wow, that's an experience. 8 minutes. Did you see anything?
No, I didn't. I don't remember.
Girl, they gonna come back like,
yeah,
to you like this.
No,
when they do, call me. Like, girl, something happened.
Another thing we want to talk about with you really quickly. No, we're gonna do the Dear Auntie letter because you know one? Yes, I have a Dear Auntie letter. Good. I think I do. Where is it at? This is my favorite segment of the night or the day. Dear Auntie, I'm usually the oldest one here, so I'm always the auntie. But here we go. Dear Auntie, I've been married to a wonderful man for the last 20 years. We have 3 great children. However, my mother-in-law is constantly undermining our parenting skills. She will, why you laughing?
Because I already know how many.
She will make comments about their curfew, the fact that the kids are always on the go, how they talk to me, how they keep house, and even comment on how much money we spend on our kids doing extracurricular activities. She doesn't whisper and has no issue calling the kids out. She has called them spoiled, entitled, etc. The kids are teenagers and have no relationship with her. I get blamed for that as well. As parents, we defend our kids and try to explain to her that our kids are honor students, so we reward them with things. They also excel at extracurricular activities. Her comments are mean and hurtful, and I'm afraid of the long-lasting effect her comments may comments are mean and hurtful, and that I'm afraid of the long-lasting effects will have on our kids. I don't know what else to do. In the past, when my husband or myself have discussed her actions with her, she gets defensive and acts as if she's the victim, and we end up consoling her. I don't know what else to do. How do I protect my children from their grandmother? What should I do?
Oh boy.
Sincerely, Mom Bear.
Get rid of her. No, I'm just playing.
Ooh, this is a deep one.
You want me to tackle it?
Go ahead, dear Auntie.
So, first of all, is grandma paying any bills in the house? Because that's important. Because if grandma is paying the cost to be the boss, you have to allow her to have an opinion.
Right.
Okay? Why is grandma in our business? Okay. Did she see the children off? Because it sounds like it's a decent relationship. Also, it is not 1957. Okay. We have money now, Mom. We don't have to live like this.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that because I had great grandparents, like literally my grandparents and my great grandparents. And so there was always a decorum. There was always, there's nothing you can do. Okay. It's your mother-in-law. She can make life very bad for you. In addition to that, you're not going to talk about my kids like that. And they're my kids. Now, do I take constructive criticism? Again, it goes back to the constructive criticism. We as women and just Black people in general need to understand if this woman is telling you this, right? She's seeing a pattern or she's seeing something, right? Because not one person that told me X, Y, Z about my son was wrong. If you don't stop doing this, this is going to happen.
Right.
If you don't stop allowing him this is going to happen. Okay. The disrespectful banter, I see it in children. Children are disrespectful to their elders or disrespectful to their parents. And it's like, I could just change a whole life with just one click, you know, and I don't know why you're acting like this. Matter of fact, give me the phone.
Right.
So I would, first of all, I wouldn't tell grandma everything because it's not her business if she's not paying bills in the house. Number 2, I would not be consoling her. We're not going to console anybody. You said what you said. I said what you said. You didn't like it, did you? Because this is my house. This is my husband. That's not your husband. That's my husband. Okay. Husband needs to sit down with the ladies and say, this cannot happen. You cannot talk about my children like that. And if you do have an opinion about them, okay, come and tell me. Because the kids are feeling like they're not liked or they're not whatever. And then there is nobody more racist and mean than an old Black person. Oh, okay. You go down south and say it.
Speak.
There is nobody meaner than an old Black person. They hate everything. They hate everybody. There is no joy. They done been through slavery. They're going to tell you about it. They walk to school 87 miles. We don't have to live like that.
Yeah.
We got Uber now, Grandma.
We don't have to do that. I think that it just sounds like she's being too much put into the business, and maybe and unless she's living in the house. Now, if you're living in my house, I'm the queen. You can't have two queen bees in a house. It doesn't work that way. The hive will kill one of them. Right. And it sounds like it's gonna be grandma. So grandma, you gotta pack light. You know, the husband needs to sit up and say something and say, listen, Ma, I respect your opinion about what's going on with the kids, but this is my money. This is what we work for. Right. It's the same thing I said about the prom. Stop being mad at these parents for doing what they did for their kids for the prom. Unless they asked you for some money and they owe you some shekels, let them kids do whatever they do. I don't care if you live in the projects. I don't care where you live. Let them do what they do.
Right.
But now on the flip side, when little JJ end up in prison or little Maya is, out here pregnant at 16, you're going to forever have to listen to the fact that grandma told you, I told you about these kids. I told you about these kids. And she going to be right. And she never going to let you forget that.
Yeah.
So
never.
That's mother-in-law. That's not wife.
Yeah.
It's two different things.
Yeah.
How would you handle it?
So I'm a little ghetto too. So
yeah, I'm not consoling you.
Yeah, I you know what? I tried.
Say it.
So
I should have brought my tambourine.
So yeah, you gave Willow a tambourine.
Yeah, because she looked like she needed one. I just happened to have 3 at the time.
So I think that grandma needs to step back. Just the bottom line. She needs to let the mama and daddy raise their kids because you done did your job.
Thank you.
So let them do theirs. You will, no matter what, the parents are never going to be perfect, and they're going to have to hear it regardless. A little bit of, not a lot of it, like you could say a little bit of stuff. And that's just that. But when you constantly coming at me about my kids, that's a problem. Like we're not going to go there. And eventually that parent or those parents
be around you.
Right. They're not going to want to be around you. They're not going to want their kids around you because who knows what's going to come out of your mouth to their kids.
Right.
So, yeah, you got to protect your kids. I'm protecting my household no matter what.
Yeah.
Grandma, you're going to have to stop back. Sorry.
And dad needs to talk to his mom.
Yeah, dad definitely needs to talk to his mother.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like the husband needs to have a private conversation with his mother, period. They need to discuss whatever they need to discuss, but she needs to have an understanding that,
what goes on over here.
like, they're married. That's their household. You live wherever you live, but it's definitely a different dynamic. But also too, I would say, as far as her making these comments about the kids, it goes back to what you said about the criticism. Is you, the person that wrote the Dear Auntie letter, are you actually listening to what she's saying and taking it into consideration? Like, you don't have to just completely dismiss her every time. There is some truth to it. And maybe she's saying one thing and really she means that, something else specific.
Yeah, you could be on the honor roll and still be out stealing kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
So
Kias, the Kia boys, we hear you. We
yeah.
Y'all better stop that. That was so sad when that happened with them kids that died on the 90 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He's on trial for that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Something. They're
and
trying
it was like
to
5 kids in one car.
Yeah, they're trying to only give him, I think, 7 years for all 4 children. So my heart goes out because I'm angry.
Yeah.
If I found out you got 2.2 years for doing that, and I don't need to speak that into the universe, but yeah, we're gonna have to have a conversation.
So I'm a little conflicted on this because I feel like he's a kid. He made a mistake, and he was like 14 or something.
No, he's 16.
Oh, he's 16. Okay,
right.
So still at 16, some of the things that I did at 16.
But you did you kill 4 people?
I did not kill 4 people
because
they also got into the car on their own.
Yes, I agree with you.
So I feel very conflicted. He's still young. He can still live a good life. He can use this tragedy and make it, something positive. Unfortunately, I just don't know. I pray for him.
Oh, yeah.
I pray for his parents. I pray for all those parents
without a mask on.
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, I don't have an opinion either way. It's just I would have hoped that stopped what they were doing.
The Kia boys, but it hasn't.
It didn't.
It has not.
Like I said, the John Flynn, the DA over in guy over in Buffalo, he's not trying to send that boy away. He wants to give him 7 years for all 4. But I'm just saying my heart goes out to the parents because it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then where were the parents? Like, this was early in the morning. Now, my kids ain't home when I wake up in the morning. There's a problem. Like, where y'all at?
Oh, yeah. This was the one that was like 6 in the morning.
Yeah. Where y'all at? Because y'all not at school at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So where you at 6 o'clock in the morning? And where was the parents? Like, it's so many questions. So, and the parents could have been working overnight. You know, it could have been
all of them.
Single family household. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. And I'm not questioning because I'm a single mom.
Me too.
And I never want to say, well, you should have did this or you should have did that. But that is just a sad situation.
They just sneak. If like I said, it's the same
kids
thing.
are sneaky.
If they want to do it, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You can chain them up in a closet. Somebody will poke a hole in the closet. I'm gonna ride for you, babe. And bring them some snacks. Yeah. There's nothing you could do. You have to let things play out the way they're gonna play out.
I'm right now. My daughter is 14 years old. She's going to high school. I know how I was when I was high school.
So you like
I changed completely. As soon as I got to high school, it was over. I was like, yes, I'm free. Like, I feel like that was a turning point in my life. I started partying that summer. I started like walking in Canada, going out I'm
the
19.
rite of passage.
Right.
Yeah.
I was only 15 years old. Like, I just started doing all types of craziness and I just be like, not my baby. Not my baby, please,
Girl,
Lord,
got
not
Uber
my
now.
baby. Thank you. Okay. She been driving since she was like 12. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I cry sometimes. Like, I just don't want my baby to grow up. She's just, I don't know.
Remember what your parents told you?
Everything you do, you're gonna get back
just like you.
See, that's why I'm not gonna have no kids.
Yeah.
That's what I said too. I got jammed up with that marriage.
Yeah, so I don't know if we're still live, but hey, it's past 12, and yeah. I don't know what big.
Everybody, this is DMP Speaks coming at you. And
It's not enough to just dream about your ideas, right? You've got to take action to bring about their creation. Time is passing us by, and that time that we have, and we think we have so much time, we don't have the time like we thought we did.
You're locked into the vault with Dante Mound on Fire 716 Radio. Let's go.
This is engaging the youth. No longer is it okay for us to make decisions.
Beautiful Boss LLC, where we empower people and encourage them to be the beautiful boss they were created to be.
I advocate for abuse victims, mainly abused children. You don't abuse